morning. I'm Megan Lucas, Economic Development Director for Alta Vista and host of It's Your Business, the area's new and only talk show on topics such as economic development, urban growth, business expansion, and real estate development. If you work in the Alta Vista, Central Virginia economy, or if you care at all about the local community, you'll love the fascinating topics and guests on It's Your Business. Tune in every Saturday morning, 9 a.m. right here on News Talk 1000 WKDE. As the community grows, it's becoming more and more cosmopolitan. The transformation from good community to great community makes for a lot of exciting talk. It's Your Business will explore exciting topics related to the Alta Vista and Metro's future development. First National Bank, Alta Vista and Lynchburg's premier commercial bank, is the proud sponsor of It's Your Business, and we're pleased to have them on board and, more importantly, in our community. Thank you, First National Bank, custom banking since 1908. Before I introduce you to our guest this morning, I just want to run down a bunch of events that are up and coming. By now, hopefully you heard that the Avoca Harvest Jubilee and Wine Festival was rescheduled to October 26th. So that'll be a big day in Alta Vista. We have a lot going on. October 26th will be the Jubilee Wine Festival, and we'll also have Alta Vista on Track will host the townwide yard sale, in addition to the scarecrows. The scarecrows are up now throughout all over town, and a few more continue to go up. But October's a great and exciting time in Alta Vista, and October 26th is the end of October for us, and we culminate that with lots of fun activities. So make sure you've got the 26th down to attend the Harvest Jubilee and Wine Festival at Avoca, the townwide garage sale, as well as stroll around downtown and enjoy the scarecrows. The Alta Vista Chamber of Commerce here, I want to say congratulations to Patty. She was given an appreciation award from the Virginia Chamber of Commerce executives for her outstanding commitment and dedication to the chamber industry. If you hadn't heard yet, our very own Patty Eller, CEO of the Alta Vista Area Chamber of Commerce, is retiring sometime in November. So we appreciate all of Patty's work and what she does, and we're thankful that there's an organization like the Virginia Chamber of Commerce Executives who can recognize Patty for all her hard work. Additional news from the Alta Vista Chamber would include numerous business ribbon cuttings this month. Lots going on with Dominion, as well as Alta Vista Art and Antiques ribbon cutting. And then, of course, the Staunton River Family Physicians and Rehab. They have opened up in their rebuilt facility, which we're excited about. One of the other things we'll talk about is we're excited to have the business consultation start again with the Small Business Development Center, and you'll hear more about that. Going on with the Lynchburg Area Chamber of Commerce, October 9th, they'll have the Economic Outlook Conference. That'll be held at 7:30 to 9:30 a.m. at Lynchburg College in the Snyder Performance Hall. For information about that event, just call 434-845-5966. The keynote speaker will be Dr. Leonard Kiefer. He's the Deputy Chief Economist at Freddie Mac. And a regional economic forecast will be given by Dr. Joe Turek, Dean of Lynchburg College School of Business and Economics. Reservations are required. $17 for chamber members, $22 for general admission, and that, of course, includes a continental breakfast. Alta Vista on Track tonight. They've got the Cruise In. It'll start 5 p.m. and run to 8:30. Cars enter on Main Street. There'll be raffles and a 50-50 drawing. People, everybody's welcome to stroll up and down Main Street and enjoy well over 150 vintage automobiles that enjoy cruising into Alta Vista every month. I mentioned the town's scarecrow stroll. Boy, there's some really great scarecrows out there. I don't know, Nick. Have you seen any of them? One or two. He's shaking his head. Then mark your calendars and start training for the 2013 7th Annual Giblet Jog 5K run. The Giblet Jog is held on Thanksgiving morning in English Park. It's situated along the edge of the Staunton River. Last year they had 400 runners from Maine to California that participated in this race, and they're anticipating a lot more runners this year. So that's a great event, a great way to kick off your Thanksgiving Day, because we're all going to gorge ourselves on turkey and ham and cranberry dressing and sweet potatoes and mashed potatoes and stuffing, and and on and pie after pie after pie. So get your body ready for all that food by hopping out of bed early Thanksgiving morning and running the giblet jog. So there's a lot going on in the community, and we're certainly glad you're tuned in to listen. It's my pleasure now to introduce you to somebody new to our community. Bart Smith. Bart is the coordinator for the Region 2000 Small Business Development Center. The Region 2000 Small Business Development Center has moved its operations to Central Virginia Community College, and they've hired a brand new director. Bart Smith is relocated from South Carolina, but he has roots in Virginia. He brings small business ownership experience to the position, along with other varied credentials, including 12 years as a franchisee for UPS Store in Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. In that role, his business became a top-performing franchise, and Smith became a trainer advisor for other UPS franchisees. He has served as a town council member in Duck, North Carolina, and a flight school instructor and management and marketing advisor to flight schools. He has also designed and delivered e-learning courses for Savannah College of Art and Design. The Small Business Development Center has recently relocated to CVCC, and we'll talk to Bart a little bit about that. Bart, how are you this morning?
I'm well. Thanks for having me.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for coming out to us, and welcome aboard.
Thank you. I'll tell you, it's a real honor to be in this region again. We're excited to be back in Virginia, and really tickled to be helping out the regional businesses.
So you said did you bring your family up here?
I did. Well, I brought my wife and my dog. So
fantastic.
That's we to me.
And in the perfect order, wife and dog.
Exactly.
Sometimes we get those things confused. But we're glad you're here, and the Small Business Development Center, they've, this is a great opportunity to transition for them. But why don't you tell the listening audience, what is the SBDC?
The SBDC, Small Business Development Center, basically there are 29 throughout the state of Virginia. The Region 2000's SBDC, in which I'm the new director, is hosted by Central Virginia Community College. The majority of the SBDCs throughout the state are either hosted by a community college, a university, or a chamber of commerce. Our basic function is to help businesses in the region, everybody from a startup to existing businesses. Startups, of course, we can do the initial business counseling, explain to them what's involved in going into business, how best to go about it, and help them through that process. Existing businesses, we can assist them in expansion, in growing their business, and figuring out better ways in which to conduct business, finding new capital for their expansion.
I think that's great. The Small Business Development Center has recently moved to CVCC, and I think that Dr. Capps, who's president, has a great vision for an SBDC partnership there, and I think it's a nice location. How are you adapting to it? I mean, it's all you know from where it was, but how are you fitting in up there?
It's wonderful, actually. The idea that the Central Virginia Community College is hosting the SBDC, it's a natural fit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually part of their Workforce Solutions Department,
great.
Headed by Dr. Ruth Hendrick. She's been outstanding in helping me adjust and getting to know the lay of the land. It's a little interesting working for the state. I've always kind of been on my own, so there's a few more rules involved, but everybody's helping me get through that, and it's been a really good relationship. I think it's going to turn out great for the region, and the area businesses are going to benefit from the relationship.
What do you think? So how long have you been on the job? A month?
I've been on the job a total of 7 weeks.
7 weeks. So you've had a little bit of a chance to see where the Region 2000 SBDC has been. And if this is a little premature, just say so, but in your driving to and from work and driving around, what are you daydreaming about as far as the future for the Small Business Development Center? What sort of opportunities or changes or new things would you like to interject into the program? Have you had a chance to formulate some of those thoughts?
I have, actually, and one of the things that's been most beneficial, I've spent the first number of weeks I've been on the job driving to and spending time in each of the counties, the towns, Lynchburg City, discussing with the town administrators, the town managers, the economic developers, the chambers, the retail merchants associations, etc., and literally asking them, what do you want your SBDC to be? Mm-hmm. That's one of the biggest things, because I've got my own ideas, but I'm new to this region, even though I grew up in Radford, Virginia, but I wasn't about to show up on the scene and tell everybody what I thought. I could learn a lot more and be much more effective if I just simply sat there and listened, mm-hmm. because those folks are the ones that are here on a daily basis. They understand their region, they understand their county and town, And so just by listening, I gained a lot of information, a lot of insight into how the businesses in the region work and exactly what those businesses need, both existing and new.
Mm-hmm. What about did you just took a trip to Orlando, didn't you,
I
to
did.
attend an SBDC conference?
Yes, I did.
What are some of the trends and things that you picked up while you were there?
One of the things that you always have your seminars about financing, about all the legal parts of the business, but one of the big things on the scene is social marketing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of folks out there that are a little bit confused about how much is enough, how much is too much, how much of my resources should I put into developing a social marketing plan.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were a number of SBDC directors that have even been on the scene for years that were taking those seminars because, it is somewhat of a new thing and you can pretty much spend your entire budget on it if you want to, but nobody has those kinds of resources. And so a big part of business today is trying to find that balance between what your budget will allow and what will be effective, because it's not enough just to market your business. You have to be smart about it.
Right.
You can waste a lot of money
Strategic.
you have to be very strategic about it. You can waste a lot of money on marketing that really isn't going to help you out that much. And so that was one of the big topics at this year's conference was social marketing, the right kind of social marketing, and how best to maximize your budget for your marketing budget to get into that social marketing.
Do you see these days, what number of small businesses do you see that are taking advantage of social media marketing?
The percentage is pretty small. Some of your larger companies, obviously, they have PR departments and they're kind of on the cutting edge of it. Your small business, like I said before, they have a limited budget, and so
budget financially as well as human capital.
Exactly. And so the social media marketing task for small businesses actually is more difficult than for your larger businesses because you have to be a lot more on the mark with your dollars. That brings on a certain challenge.
Yeah.
And so part of what I do with the SBDC and part of what I've done these last few weeks is really try to figure out the best way based on limited budget that these small businesses can maximize their marketing dollars and take advantage of the social media.
Yeah. I wonder, do you anticipate having a few seminars out in the area on small business marketing and social media? Do you think that's in the future?
Absolutely. We conduct a number of, or we will be conducting a number of seminars throughout the year in the individual locations throughout the region. And social marketing, social media marketing will definitely be one of those topics. Also, business basics, accounting, legal seminars, anything that really pertains to small business. We're going to definitely try to put on a seminar, and not just in Lynchburg, but in Alta Vista, in the other counties and towns. One of my big goals as a new director of the SBDC is to take these seminars, take the counseling out to the different counties, the different towns, and not just in Lynchburg.
Well, how are you organized? I know that your office is in CVCC, and I think didn't you tell me that last week you spent some time in Alta Vista? Do you have satellite offices, or do you throughout the region, or do you just go and set up meetings in the different regions? In other words, does everybody need to come to you, or how are you dispersing yourself and your services throughout the region?
Well, that's one of the nice advantages of being part of CVCC. They have the 4 satellite campuses. What I've done, I've scheduled set counseling hours in each of those satellite offices.
Oh, great.
Alta Vista will be the third Thursday of each month.
Okay.
From 8 to 12 in the morning. And folks, all they have to do is contact me.
Okay.
We'll give them the number here at the end of the segment.
Sure.
But contact me and we'll schedule some time. But those are set hours. I'm here whether I have an appointment or not.
Okay.
And that's getting back to being in the counties, being in the towns, reaching out to folks and making it as easy as possible for new businesses and existing businesses to come find me and spend an hour with me and go over business.
So Bart, existing businesses, they hopefully have a business plan and they've been functioning for 5 or 10 years. Why would they need the advice of the Small Business Development Center?
I think with any business, especially businesses that have been existing a while, you almost fall into a situation where you can't see the forest for the trees. You start developing blinders, really. And it's always nice for a different set of eyes to kind of look at your business. Everything from customer service to financing to marketing. It's nice to have somebody who has experience, who's been there before, to come in and just kind of give you a checkup. I know I was able to take advantage of that when I owned my businesses, and it made a world of difference.
Yeah.
And so that's part of what the SBDC does. And one of the things that we haven't stressed yet that I should, it's free.
That's right.
I am literally your tax dollars at work. And so, a lot of folks are on a set budget, a limited budget. You don't have to worry about that with me because I am literally free of charge. And I've got a lot of good information.
And I think it's critical, so many businesses, and we've seen it, you and I have seen it, a business will go through all the time and energy to get a solid business plan written. They'll get the business up and running, they'll be operating, and then around the 5, 6, 7 year mark, sometimes even sooner, they think that the business should just keep growing and keep running, but they forget that business plan is a living, breathing document. They should always be looking at it. I know I was visiting with a small business the other day, and I said, how you doing with your marketing plan? Where are you at? Is it about time for you to revisit that marketing plan? And they looked at me and they said, well, and I said, well, where is your marketing plan? And they pointed to their head. And I said, you know what? You got to get that marketing plan out on paper, just like their business plan. So the next question, of course, was, how's your business plan? And I got the same response. And it's that planning for the future, and especially the succession planning.
Exactly. That's a common thing. I mean, and it's prevalent throughout businesses. You get the business plan, you'll show it to the bank, you'll get your financing, it'll go on a shelf, and it'll stay there until either the shelf falls down or you move. So you're right, it's a living, breathing document. But even beyond that, it serves a purpose, and your marketing plan serves a purpose, and it really all comes back to money.
Right.
You have a set amount of money that you're able to spend on very important things in your business, marketing being one of them. Without a plan, you're kind of haphazardly going through it. And I don't know about you, I don't have a lot of money to waste.
Right.
And neither do our small businesses.
Right.
And that's exactly what you're doing. If you don't have a plan to market your business, you are throwing money away. I guarantee it. And that's one of the services that I can fulfill, one of the services that I can offer to small businesses. Let me take a look at it.
Yep.
Let me go over it with you.
And it's confidential.
It's
right?
confidential. It's one-on-one. It's confidential. I can come to your business. You can come to one of the satellite offices. You can come to my office in Lynchburg. But and by doing so, you're taking a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
You're doing something for your business, about your business, and really that's where it all starts.
Yeah.
All you have to do is just pick up the phone, give me a call, let's chat about it for an hour. And you're doing something. You're being proactive. You're doing something to grow your business. It's that simple. So
it's not just enough to open the door and start collecting cash and paying taxes.
No, exactly. And that's a good point you make. A lot of folks, a lot of my new business folks that I chat with, they think if you just open your door, they will come. Well, why? Why should they?
And they forget that they're supposed to pay taxes.
Well, that's
always a fun one.
Yeah, that never works out too well. But there are a number of taxes. I mean, there's a number of things that you have to have in line in order to start your business, grow your business, be in business. The one thing I see a lot of times is people will quit perfectly good jobs that make good money to open their business. And my first question before they do so, well, how are you going to pay your house payment? How are you going to pay your car payment? How are you going to pay your utilities? What's going to do that? Oh, well, I'm going to open the business. Well, what happens if nobody walks in your door for 6 months? Which is reality. Where's that money coming from? And so, it sounds simple, but it really is simple. Right. Simple little questions like that get the brain juices flowing, get you thinking about, and there's no reason you have to necessarily all the time quit what you're doing to open a business.
Right.
And it's just, there's a method to it.
At least have your business plan ready before you quit your business. I mean, how many times have you seen people who quit their business and come to you to say, hey, by the way, I'm going to open a business. And then you say, where's your business plan? And then you get the deer in the headlights.
Yeah, exactly. And, I've seen it before. Folks that, I mean, they're talking about some big time business. And I was like, well, let me see your business plan. And do you have one? They're like, yeah. And they hand across a sheet of paper. And I'm like, what is this?
Yeah, yeah. My favorite story is when I was back in Nebraska running the chamber. I had a lady come in to do a one-on-one consultation for business planning. And she sat down and I said, well, tell me about your business. She said, well, I want to open a yarn store. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me more about your yarn store. Well, I'm going to have a lot of yarn, and I'm in the state crocheting group. I mean, she had all these guilds, and she went on and on and on talking about it. And I was like, okay. And then she says, and by the way, it's only going to be yellow yarn. And I was like, so you're going to open a yellow yarn only store? She's like, oh yeah, yeah. And I know people are going to love it because it's the school colors and everybody's going to want yellow yarn. So I said, well, have you done your feasibility study? Have you done your marketing, your business plan? And she just stared at me. And I said, you know what? Here's how to write a business plan. Here's the outlines. Here's how this works. You start jotting it down and then come back and visit. Well, of course, I never saw her again. Mm-hmm. But we get those people who think, I'd love to crochet, or the famous one now is I can bake. Therefore, yes. I can have a muffin store. I love to paint. Therefore, I can have a house. And it's just because you're good at a task of the doing doesn't mean you're good at the task of doing the business. And those are the people who need to take advantage of the SBDC. I have an idea. Let's just say I'm good at crocheting, mm-hmm. and I want to open a yarn store or a crocheting store of some sort. I need to come to you, mm-hmm. and when I come to you and I call you and make this appointment, what's it going to be like? What are you going to say to me?
Well, kind of some of the same things you just went over. The way I always start the counseling sessions is I just sit down and listen. Tell me your idea.
Yep.
Tell me how you came up with this idea. And so they get to share with me something that they're very excited about. Great. You should be excited. That's neat. But then I start asking the real questions. Mm-hmm. What qualifies you to run a business doing what you want to do? What's your background? What's your experience? Yeah. What is your plan for space? What is your plan for equipment? What is your plan for your cost of goods? And a lot of times when folks start doing the business plan, mm-hmm. they start getting down to nitty gritty. They start doing their marketing plan and their feasibility plan. Those are tools that you can use to determine before you ever open the door whether or not you actually should open the door.
And the important thing, the tools that you can use to determine whether or not you should spend your life savings.
Oh, not just life savings. Your house,
your
parents' money,
your brothers, your sisters,
your friends' money. Part of my job, and it's a very important part of the job, is to counsel folks and sometimes share with them my opinion that they really have no business going into business. Right. And by doing so, if they came in with just a desire to open a business, and then sometime in that counseling session or the next counseling session, they've determined, this isn't a good idea. Well, basically what I just did, I just saved their house. Yep. I just saved them from bankruptcy. Yeah. Okay, so you're ahead of the game already. Yeah. Okay, and so, but it's interesting. Sometimes folks will approach me and they'll come in with an idea, and during our counseling sessions, we actually changed the idea. Mm-hmm. It was a good idea. It wasn't a great idea. How about if we think about this angle or that angle? And a lot of times they'll actually come up with an even better idea, a more feasible idea, a working idea. Yeah. And another thing I see also is folks, they have background experience. Mm-hmm. They have their ducks in a row. The one thing they haven't done is they haven't done their demographics. Mm-hmm. They are considering opening a business, a great business, in the wrong place. Yep. And it really is just like real estate. Location, location, location. One example was a school supply store. Mm-hmm. And I saw in a small town in North Carolina. And she didn't do the studies that she needed to do. She didn't get the demographics. Well, come to find out, in that county, it was one of the lowest school children aged counties in this state.
Oh, no.
So it's, great. I think you got some good ideas, but you're opening it in the wrong county because the median age of the county is 63.
Right.
There are no school children. In fact, the children that were in the county actually be bused to a different county simply because it didn't warrant having a school. Yeah. So, it's things like that. Great idea, wrong place. Mm-hmm. Have you considered this other place?
And so when somebody comes to you and they're thinking about opening a business, you'll walk them through these ideas. You'll walk them through these processes and help educate them on what their needs are.
Exactly.
And is it a one-time shot?
No. It is a process. It is a process, and it's as much as you need.
Yeah,
I mean, really, it is. I mean, we're not going to discuss a bad idea for hours, but it's not just a one-time shot. I mean, I'm accessible, and that's one of the reasons we're doing the scheduled counseling every third Thursday in Alta Vista. And I come to you. In fact, I'm leaving here and going to Brookneal to meet with some folks that can't meet with me during the day because they work. I'm meeting with them after hours. Which
is really great because so many times, and I've worked with small business development centers in other parts of the country, they have the rigid hours. And small micro businesses, those hours are when they have to be in their shop or at their business. So the fact that you are flexible and to go to a business after hours or before hours already says great things about the kind of person you are and the director that you're going to be with the Small Business Development Center. For everybody out there listening, Bart he's accessible all the time, but he'll be in Alta Vista on the third Thursday of every month.
From 8 to 12.
From 8 to 12, and you can reach Bart at 434-832-7824, or just email him at smithb@cvcc.vccs.edu. But and you can, if you need that information, you didn't catch it on the radio show, just call my office at 369-5001. Bart, thanks for coming in today. We're glad to have you part of the Region 2000 community, and I'll be happy to send small businesses your way. And before we transition, let's talk about what a small business is. What if my business is going to be more than 10 employees? Can I come see the Small Business Development Center?
Yeah, that's one of the actual points of confusion. It's actually a federal definition, 250 employees and fewer. So there's a lot of businesses in this region that are technically small businesses.
Absolutely. So whether you're thinking about starting a business from scratch, or you're an existing business that wants to take your business to the next level, or you're an existing business that wants succession planning or advice with marketing or growing your market, the Small Business Development Center, under the direction of Bart, can help you without a doubt. So everybody, I'm Megan Lucas with the Town of Alta Vista, Department of Economic Development. Thanks so much for tuning in to It's Your Business. If you have any comments or questions or like to share anything about the show, feel free to give me a buzz at 369-500-RUN. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you tonight at the Cruisin' on Main Street.